Trust, David Thackeray. Over to you, David.
Right, I just need to load up. Wait a minute, I've done that wrong. Beginning. Well, good morning. My name's David and I'm the chair of the Mechanics Institute Trust. I'll first of all say something about the trust and then a few words about the Heritage Action Zone, which provides the context within which we're working. The trust was founded in 1995, initially to protect and bring back to community use the Mechanics Institute building. The trust is unusual because it has two functions. We're a building preservation trust and a community development enterprise. We sum this up as people and place. The trust is a registered charity and a company limited by guarantee, and its work is directed by a board of trustees elected by the membership at annual meetings. Trustees come from a range of backgrounds, but all share the same passion for the Mechanics Institute, Swindon's heritage and the wider Swindon community. The day-to-day management of the trust is led by the board, supported by a very small team of paid staff and contractors. The trust also relies on the kind support of many volunteers and supporters who bring a range of skills and enthusiasm to the work of the organisation. Our aims at the bottom of this slide are to champion and play a key role in the restoration and reuse of the Mechanics Institute, to effectively and sustainably manage the trust building portfolio, which I'll say something about, and develop a community outreach programme to engage as widely as possible. So what does this mean today? Currently, we have 5 major projects in hand. Clustered around the Mechanics Institute at the heart of Emlyn Square, they include the Mechanics Institute itself, the Central Community Centre, the former Baker's Arms, the Railway Village Museum and the former Cricketers Pub. The Mechanics Institute building is one of the really important buildings in Swindon, but it's owned by a private developer and tragically has been allowed to become derelict over many years. Over 25 years after the trust was founded to bring this building back to community use, we're working with Swindon Borough Council towards a future for the Mechanics. A viability study has been prepared and the project group is progressing work on structural surveys, business plans, and in mapping out a way forward for the rescue of the building. This is rather a poignant picture of the interior of the building, the theatre. The next project is the Central Community Centre in Emlyn Square. This was built as an armoury for the Great Western Railway in 1862, converted to a hospital for the GWR Medical Fund in 1871, and has been a community centre since 1960. Listed Grade 2, it's been run by the Trust since 2014. This houses a preschool playgroup and has a number of flexible meeting rooms, a hall, a large kitchen available for hire by groups and individuals from across Swindon. We also have a gardening club for our volunteers. Baker's Arms Cafe, built in 1846 and owned by the GWR, was one of 4 pubs in the village. Shortly afterwards, it had started baking bread, hence the name, but by the turn of the century, it had returned to being a pub. Cafe and the flat over it have been in operation since 2018. However, the cafe has been closed since March of 2020 due to COVID. But we're looking forward now to a new beginning this year. We have lots of ideas to utilise the seating areas, the cafe and the back room, and to extend our working hours. Lots of decisions to be made, but we will get it open for use in some form by the summer. The Railway Village Museum has been open since 2017. It's a 1900 railway workers' home. This delightful small cottage museum provides an insight into the life in Swindon's railway village. We run open days, group visits and special tours. We also have themed openings and opportunities to learn traditional crafts like rag rugging. We intend to extend the opening hours and to seek museum accreditation for the building. Cricketers Arms, former Cricketers Arms. This is our latest building, which we took on in 2019. As you can see, it's a major restoration project. This has been surveyed and business plans have been prepared for its future uses. These will include accommodation, retail and community uses. We want it to be a social asset to the community and would welcome your thoughts on this. Now I'll say something about the Heritage Action Zone. This isn't just about bricks and mortar. We see the potential of these buildings for transforming how people feel about and are involved in their local area. This is why we, the Trust, are also proud to be playing a part in Swindon's Heritage Action Zone. This ambitious project by Historic England, Swindon Borough Council, the Trust and others aims to revitalise the railway works and village, utilise their heritage to generate social and economic growth, and generally make them more attractive places for residents, businesses, tourists and investors. The HAS brings 1.6 million of funding from Historic England, as well as access to their corporate resources and expertise. The HAS programme will last for 5 years and will focus on the area around Swindon's historic railway village. Its master plan has 3 types of projects. First is enhancements to key historic buildings and spaces. These include the Health Hydro, the Cricketers, the Carriage Works, the Mechanics Institute and the GWR Park. Second, improvements to the setting of the historic buildings, the public spaces and footpath links. This project will improve connections between the railway village and adjoining areas through new wayfinding signage and will provide interpretation to tell the story of the area to visitors. Third is promotion and raising awareness of Swindon's railway history through branding and through a programme of cultural events, publications and exhibitions. The HAS has 2 projects which are starting now and which we'd like to draw your attention to and ask for your support with. The first is about branding. Consultants have been appointed to create a distinctive and easily recognisable brand for the HAS area, which can be used to promote and market the area and on signage and marketing materials. The success of any brand will depend on its take-up by local organisations and people. So we want to ask your help to publicise this project widely amongst your networks and members, and to encourage people to get involved to make this project a success. Please look out for information about future events and consultation. The next major project that's relevant to this is the Conservation Management Plan for the Great Western Railway Park on Farringdon Road. The recent pandemic has really highlighted how much parks and green spaces are valued by people who live in town centres. And this particular green space has played a significant role in the sporting and social life of Swindon's railway village for more than 170 years. Through the HAS and working with South Swindon Parish Council, the HAS has been able to appoint landscape architects, Cookson and Tickner, to produce a conservation management plan. They'll carry out research and consultation in order to understand how the park has evolved since GWR bought it in 1844 and how people want to use it and see it develop in the future. The plan will identify ways to preserve and enhance any remaining historical features and to tell the park's interesting story to visitors. Again, we really want to get local people involved in this project, so we hope we can ask you for help in publicising this consultation. It's likely to be in May for this project. How can you help? You can become a member of the Trust and support our work. Membership is £1 plus any donations you might want to give, and we'll keep you up to date with projects and opportunities to get involved. You can become a volunteer, and there are numbers of opportunities, for example, for people with administrative, management and fundraising skills. The community centre has a gardening club and also has administrative opportunities. The museum is entirely volunteer run. If you have an interest in history, conservation, tour guiding or talking to visitors, we're always looking for new volunteers to support the museum opening. Or if you're interested in helping with special projects, like our currently developing oral history project. And the bakers too, will let you know when that building reopens and what the opportunities there are. We also continue to look for new trustees and would welcome expressions of interest from anyone interested in becoming a trustee. We, the Trust, are looking forward to working more closely with the Council, with all our partners and the people of Swindon to see our aspirations become reality and to achieve viable futures for the mechanics and our other building preservation work, and to see the greater recognition of and a new future for our valuable heritage, the heritage of all of us in Swindon. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, David. Any questions on that, on the breadth of what the Trust is doing? Any questions?
Not a question, but I'd just say I came in, sorry, apologies, slightly at the end of that. That was absolutely fascinating because I didn't know hardly anything about that at all. So really well presented. Thank you.
Thanks, Claire. Anyone else? Last chance. Okay, well, thank you very much, David. That was really great. And thanks to all our presenters and to everyone. Let me stop this recording. And everyone who's joined us for this first slot.